Okay, first some basics. In these lessons, I'm going to be talking about numbers of fingers. So just so that we're on the same page, the thumbs are finger number 1, and then we have finger number 2, 3, 4, and 5. So for example, if I say finger number 1 on your right hand, I mean your right hand thumb. Finger number 2 on your right hand is here, and so on, 3, 4, and 5. I want you to start by looking at fingers number 3 and 4 on your right hand, and we're going to find the E. We want it to be in the 3rd octave down, and what you're going to look for are 2 black notes here, 2 black notes next to each other, and right to the right of this black note, the white note there, is called an E. That's the note we want. Okay, and what I want you to do is I want you to take finger 4 and place it on the E, and finger 3 on the D sharp, which is this black note right to the left of the E. And I just want you to bounce back and forth using finger 4 on the E and finger 3 on the D sharp. So just go like that a little bit. Okay, now we're going to look for a little bit more precision. So I want you to, once again, put finger 4 on the E and finger 3 on the D sharp, but now I just want you to count out 5, starting on the E. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and stop. And again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, so one thing to keep in mind is as we go through this lesson, I want you to make sure that you always keep things at a fixed tempo. So better slow and steady than fast and messy. No, that's no good. I want you to keep it slow and steady. Okay, now, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the next note you're going to play with the thumb, or finger number 1, is a B here. Notice that the B is right to the right of the 3 black notes. This is a B. So it's going to be E, D sharp, E, D sharp, E, B. And using the finger numbers 4, 3, 4, 3, 4, 1. Okay, great. Let's now finish up this part. So we have 4, 3, 4, 3, 4, 1 on the B. And then we're going to take finger number 3 on the D, finger number 2 on the C, to finger number 1 on the A. D, C, A. Okay, now together. 4, 3, 4, 3, 4, 1, 3, 2, 1. And one more time. Okay, now I want you to take your left hand and I want you to find the A with your pinky. Now the A, to find it, you're going to look for 3 black notes, and the A is between the 2 rightmost black notes over here. Okay, now once you've found that with your pinky, with your thumb, I want you to find the A to the right of that, 1 octave up. Okay, now what you're actually going to play is with your pinky, you're going to hit this A, and then with finger number 2 on your left hand, you're going to hit the E. Notice the E again, same place, there's 2 black notes, it's right to the right. So we have A, E, and then with your thumb, finger number 1, A up top. Okay, and one more time. Okay, now what I want you to do is keep your pinky on this A, but don't play it. And I want you to be ready to hit that A at the same time you hit the A on the right hand. That's the last note we learned before. So take your right hand and begin what you played before. And as soon as you're done with that last note, you're going to hit both A's simultaneously. Okay, one more time. Okay, now this time I want you to finish up the left hand that we just learned. One more time. Okay, now the next part in the right hand is, as soon as we finish this, we're going to take the right thumb, or finger number 1, and play the C, which is just one note apart from that last A we hit in the left hand. Okay, now let's just focus on the right hand. From that C, we're going to go C, and then with finger number 2, E, and finger number 4, the A up top, and we're going to end it with a B, one note over with the pinky, or finger number 5. So again. Okay, so just from the left hand part, let's do the whole thing from the beginning. Okay, now you probably thought that last note sounded a little funny, maybe even wrong. And that's because as we hit that last B with the pinky, we're supposed to simultaneously play an E on the left hand with the pinky of the left hand. Okay, so just to see how that moves, the left hand, the pinky is going to move down to this E. Okay, so let's do that now. Again. And from the beginning, one more time. Okay, now let's learn the next part in the left hand. So after this E with the pinky, you're going to play an E an octave higher with your thumb. And now you're going to cross over with finger number 2 and play a G sharp. Okay, the G sharp is just the middle black note in the sequence of 3 black notes. So again, E, E, and then with finger number 2, cross over and play G sharp. From this part. One more time from that part. Now from the beginning. And to finish this up now, with your right hand, we're going to arpeggiate an E major chord. What that means is we're just going to play an E major chord one note at a time. So that's E with the thumb, or finger number 1, to G sharp with finger number 2, to a B with finger number 4, to a C with finger number 5. So we have from the left hand, one more time. From the top. Okay, again, that C probably sounds a little weird because we're supposed to be changing that left hand note. What's nice is the left hand at this part is exactly the same as the first left hand part you learned. It's A, E, A again. So A, E, A. Let's do this from the beginning. Okay, now we're going to make this sound even nicer by adding the sustain pedal in. The sustain pedal is the rightmost pedal on the bottom of the piano. You're going to hit it with your right foot. And just to teach you when to play it, I'm going to say the word pedal every time you're supposed to press it down. Pedal. 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 So what you want to do is every time I say pedal, right before that you want to quickly release it and press it down again. So let's do it one more time. Pedal. 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 Okay, let me finish by playing this whole part one more time. Next week, we will finish the second half of this part of the song. So for the second half of this part of Fur Elise, there's not much more to learn. Let me start by finishing up the end, which is the main difference between the second half and the first half. The first time around, remember, it goes... We're now going to change that to the following. Well, the first note is the same, but instead of going up, we're now going to come down from the C with the pinky to the B with the fourth finger and to the A with the third finger. Very simple. So E, C, B, A, or 1, 5, 4, 3. So from here, notice that the left hand is completely unchanged. The only difference is that one part of the right hand. Okay, so let's just do the second half of this first part of Fur Elise. Again, the only difference here is also notice that all the pedal actions remain the same. Now, the only other thing we have to be careful of is the way it transitions from the first part to the second part. So coming out of this, there's one extra note, this E. It's also important that you release the pedal when you begin the second part. Release the pedal and then start again. Okay, so those are the only changes for the second half of this first part of Für Elise. Let's try it from the beginning, nice and slow. Pedal, 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 release, pedal, pedal, pedal. And that's it. Next week, we're going to move on to the next part of Für Elise, which together with this part will finish up the first movement. Okay, so for the next part of Für Elise, most of it is actually very similar to the parts we already learned and equal in difficulty. The end is a little bit different, but not too hard. It looks very nice, but it's not all that difficult. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to take our right hand and start with finger 2 on the B here. And we're going to use fingers 2, 3, 4, and 5 and go right up one note at a time. B, C, D, E. Very simple. B, C, D, E. Now the left hand is going to be almost identical to what we already learned. The fingering, I believe, is all the same initially. It's just the notes that we're playing that are different. So previously we did this A, E, A. This time we're going to go C, G, C. Very similar. C, G, C. All the note spacing is the same, just the notes we're playing are different. So on the right hand we have, in the left hand we're going to have. Now let's play that C with our left pinky at the same time we play the E with our right pinky. Let's set it up. Okay, and now let's try the whole left hand after the right hand. One more time. Okay, the next right hand part, you're going to start with your thumb or finger number 1 on the G, and then your pinky, finger number 5, is going to hit the F up top here. This is the note right to the left of the 3 black notes. Now that one's a little bit of a reach, but after that it's pretty easy. It just comes straight down on the next 2 notes. So it's G, F, E, D. Finger 1, 5, 4, 3. Okay, so let's do this from the top. Okay, again, as always, the left hand is going to change when we hit this D, and it's going to go to a G. Okay, so a G there. Now the next left hand part, starting with this G, is very similar to the second left-hand part that we learned previously, in the sense that it's got that crossover of finger number 2. So we're going to hit G, G, so low G, higher G, and then cross over with our second finger, this time hitting a white note, the B over here. So taking it from the G in the right hand, okay, from the beginning, the next part in the right hand is very similar to the last part. Remember, the last part went. We're basically going to play exactly that same thing, but every white note is going to be shifted down one to the left. So F, E, D, C. So from here, from the beginning, now when you hit this C, you're going to hit the A at the same time. And this last part is just like the very first part of the song. So now the next part on the right hand, just as easy. So from here, we're going to do it again, sliding down one more white note. From the top. Now when you hit this B, again, it sounded a little weird because we're supposed to hit this E in the left hand at the same time. Okay, so for the last part of this part, we're going to be hitting a lot of E's, starting with this E with the 5th finger of the left hand into the 1st finger of the left hand, playing the E 1 octave up. Okay, then, very similar to parts that we've done before, but with a little more reach, we're going to reach over with our 2nd finger and hit the E even 1 octave higher. So E, E, E. Again, E, E, E. Then with your right hand, you're going to hit the same E you just hit with the 2nd finger of your left hand, except with the thumb of your right hand. And then you're going to hit the E 1 octave higher with the pinky of your right hand. So we have 5, 1, 2, 1, 5. And then you're going to follow those last 2 notes with the same notes, but with your left hand. 5th finger, 1st finger. So we have 5, 1, 2, 1, 5, 5, 1. And we're just going to repeat exactly what we just did an octave higher. Right hand, 1, 5. Okay, so we have and that's the whole run. 5, 1, 2, 1, 5, 5, 1, 1, 5. Okay, and then with our left hand, we're going to play the D sharp and the E with the 3rd finger on the D sharp and the 2nd finger on the E. And then with the right hand, we're going to do the same thing, but with the third finger on the D sharp and the fourth finger on the E. And we're going to repeat that again. Okay, so just practice that a few times, back and forth. Left hand, 3, 2. Right hand, 3, 4. 3, 2, 3, 4. 3, 2, 3, 4. Now when we actually do it, we're going to do the left hand twice. So it's 3, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, and then 3, 4, 3, 4, 3, 4. Back into the first part of the first movement. So that whole end is like this. So let's go through the whole part now, and this time let's use the pedal. So I'm going to say the word pedal as I have done before. Every time I want you to press down on the pedal with your right foot. Remember, you're using the rightmost pedal, which is the sustain pedal. 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 And release. Pedal. Okay, the song gets a bit more challenging now, so I'm going to be splitting this up into a few more pieces, not too many, but just a few, so that you don't get too overwhelmed. For this next part, let's just start with the right hand. And we're going to be hitting 2 notes at a time to start. Okay, so with the thumb of the right hand, or finger number 1, we're going to be playing an E and a C with the pinky of the right hand. That creates a nice harmony. From here, with the right hand, we're just going to move the thumb over 1 note to the F. So this part's pretty simple. And the third part of this goes back to here, but it actually adds in an extra note with the 4th finger. Okay. That's a bit tricky, especially when playing it with the left hand. If you accidentally miss that note, or you're not able to handle that note, it's not that big a deal. You can usually get away with this and people won't even notice. But if you want it to sound nice and full, one more time. Now for the left hand by itself is very simple. With finger number 1 and 2, you're going to be playing the C and the B flat. And then you're going to change the second finger to the third finger with the A. And finally, the 4th finger with the G. So it's pretty simple by itself. It moves right down. Now, when you put the 2 hands together, it's a little tricky. What makes it a little more difficult is that the left hand is going straight down, but the right hand is moving up, then back down. So let's do one at a time. Okay, so remember, in the right hand, you're playing the E and the C, and in the left hand, you're playing a C and a B flat. Okay, now, for the second chord, remember that the right hand, the thumb is moving up to the F, and in the left hand, you're switching finger number 2 to finger number 3 and playing the A. So again. Okay, and now the hardest chord. Remember that the right hand, you're going back to the E, but you're adding in this B flat. And in the left hand, you're moving down to the G with the fourth finger. All right, so let's try all three of those nice and slow. One more time. You may need to practice that one a little bit. Okay, now from there, in the right hand, you're basically going to be playing an F major chord, except you're going to add a little trill with it, meaning you're not just going to play all three notes at the same time, but you're going to do it like that. Okay, and the notes are F with finger 1, A with finger 3, and C with finger 5. Okay, now as you play this, when you land on that C with your left hand, you're going to be hitting an F. Now the left hand is going to be playing an F chord also, but it's going to arpeggiate it. Okay, so it's F, A, C, A. And now the right hand, with your fourth finger, you're going to come up to the F, and then it's going to go to an E, and there's going to be a D. So there's going to be an F with the fourth finger, E with the third finger, D with the second finger. Except it's going to play it a little differently than that. It's going to be... So it's F, E, E, D. So we have. Okay, now what happens in the left hand, there's actually more going on in the left hand while the right hand is playing that part. Okay, so it just stays on the C and the A. So the whole left hand looks like this. And the right hand, with the left hand, so the left hand does this, and then there's a change. It goes back to the F, but this time with finger number 2, it's going to play a B flat, and with finger number 1, a D. But the pattern is the same. So the first time it goes, and the second time it goes, so. And now the whole part. Okay, continuing from last time. So we had up to here. There's actually a little more going on there in the right hand. The right hand is going to start up here. Okay, so now when does that happen? So when the left hand plays the D the second time, the right hand uses the fourth finger on the B flat and then comes down to the A. So let's do this slowly from here. And now the right hand is going to do something like this. So it's just a little scale on the way down. Fourth finger on the A, and it's going to run straight down. 4, 3, 2, 1. A, G, F, E. And then it's going to cross over with the third finger to the D and then the C. Again. Okay, so we have notice I hit that F again in the left hand. I didn't play any more than that in the left hand because the next part's going to change. So the left hand now goes F, E. It's the first part, F, E. But then it's going to hit kind of a strange chord. It's going to hit an F, G, and B flat at the same time. So F with the pinky or fifth finger, G with the fourth finger, and a B flat with the second finger. And then it's going to bounce back and forth between this weird chord and the E with the thumb. So maybe just practice that. Sounds kind of terrible by itself, but in the context of the song, it sounds very nice. So we have. And then one more time, nice and slow. And then the right hand after that is going to hit B flat, A. B flat, A. With fingers 3 and 2. Again. And the left hand is going to once again play that first arpeggiated part from this movement. So we have. And now the whole part. From here, there's a little bit more in the right hand there. Okay, so the notes are B flat, A, G, A, B flat, C. Okay, with the third, second, first, second, third, fourth finger. So the notes themselves aren't too hard. So when you try to play it, it sounds like there's an extra note in there because this first note is supposed to bounce right into the second note. Okay, so from here. Okay, so that just adds that extra little part in that was missing from the last lesson. After that, the right hand just does something simple. So with finger number 2, it's a D to a D sharp with finger number 3 to an E with finger number 4. And what does the left hand do during that? Okay, so during this D to D sharp, the left hand is still finishing up this, but when you hit the E, the left hand is going to move to an E. Okay, so the pinky of your left hand is going to play an E at the same time your fourth finger of your right hand plays an E up top. So after this, we have the fourth finger of the right hand playing the E, the fifth finger F, and the thumb or first finger playing an A. Now here it's a little tricky. As you play this F, play a D with the fifth finger, followed by another D with the first finger, as the right hand plays an A with the first finger. Let's do this nice and slow. The right hand now goes to a C with finger 2, and the left hand to a G with finger number 5. And now the left hand goes between the G with the fifth finger and an E with the first finger. And the right hand is going to play a D with the third finger, followed by a B with the first finger. And the left hand there hits an F with the thumb. Okay, let's try to get through all of that. And let's just finish for now with 2 C's. Finger 2 on the right hand, finger 3 on the left hand. One more time. Okay, and now this whole part from the beginning. The right hand, and we're going to start with finger 2 on the C here, and then to finger 5 on the G. So we have finger 2 on the C, finger 5 on the G. Then it's going to go to finger 1 on the lower G, 1 octave down, and back up to finger 5 on the high G. So we have, and now we're going to keep finger 5 on this high G, and we're slowly going to move our thumb right up the keyboard, like so. Okay, notice that the thumb is going to go from the G to the A to the B to the C to the D. Okay, one more time. Okay, from here, we're now going to use our thumb on the E, finger 2 on the G, finger 5 on the C. So we have, okay, and then we're going to do a regular C scale from the C down to the D. Okay, so for those of you who don't know how a C scale goes, it's C, B, A, G, F, crossover with the third finger to the E, second finger on the D. So again, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, crossover 3, 2. So we have from the beginning. From here. Okay, from here we're going to go to the G with the pinky, or fifth finger, then the fourth finger on the F, and the second finger on the D. Now that's the whole first half. Okay, now let's add in the left hand. As we're playing the first C with finger number 2, the left hand is playing a C and an E with fingers number 2 and 1. Just like that. Now, When the thumb hits the B, we're going to use finger 2 in the left hand on the F and finger 1 on the G. So we have... Okay, now let's just look at the left hand for a second. So after this, so it's finger 2 and 1 on the F and G, and then it's going to be finger 3 and 1 on the E and G, and finger 4 and 1 on the D and G. So we have... Now technically, the first time this part is played, an extra F is added with the second finger here. And the second time it's played, there is no F. If you leave out that F both times, it's no big deal. Or even if you put the F in both times, it's no big deal. So you could play that either one of those two ways. Technically, with the F the first time, without the F the second time. No one's going to notice if you put in or take out that F. From here. Okay, so after we play this, and then this in the right hand, it goes to a C major chord, which is C with the pinky, E with finger 3, and G with finger 1. And again, the first time it plays this, it does the full chord. The second time, it does just the C and E. Let's take it from here. Okay, again. Okay, now to finish this up in the left hand, we're going to hit F and A with fingers 5 and 3, and G and B with fingers 4 and 2. And let's see when that comes. On the A here, with finger 3, we're going to hit the F and A in the left hand, and with the D in the right hand, we're going to hit the G and B in the left hand. And then we're going to finish, or lead into the next part, with C with the thumb in the right hand, C with the thumb in the left hand, or finger 1 in both hands. And again. Okay, notice that I did change the fingering a little in the left hand that second time around. The first time I played it, it was 5 and 3 and 4 and 2. The second time, I used 4 and 2 and 3 and 1. Now this isn't absolutely essential. That just sets up your fingers nicely for the last chord, which is going to be here. So it goes from here to here. But if you use the same fingering twice in the left hand, again, just like some of the other parts, it's not that critical. So notice that time I didn't change the fingering in the left hand. Not that big a deal. It's slightly more awkward to go to the 1 and 2, but it's not terrible if you accidentally do that. Okay, so the last part in the right hand is going to go like this. Finger 3 on the E, to finger 4 on the F, back to the E, and to the D sharp, back to the E, then to a B with finger 1, back to the E. Okay, that sounded like a lot, but let's just play it a few times and you'll see it's not so bad. One more time. And with that chord in the left hand, the B and the G sharp, from the top, and now the very end, it's going to repeat those last few notes. And then it's going to do it again and go back and forth on the E and D sharp. We'll use fingers 3 and 4 because it's going to lead right into the first movement again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you're going to finish with an A with finger 1 on the right hand and finger 5 on the left hand. So let's do this end. And now the whole thing one more time. Notice that I used the correct fingering that time the whole way through. So if you want to see everything with all the right fingers and all the notes included, that last one is the right one to watch. Also, just one more comment. These notes coming down are staccato, meaning just very quick hits. The other notes are not staccato. Going to be just hitting this A the whole time. Now, if you just hit it with one finger of your choice, it actually doesn't matter too much. It'll probably sound fine. But technically, the correct way to play it is to go from finger 3 to 2 to 1 and keep repeating. 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1. That's it. So the first chord is going to be an E with finger 1, G with finger 2, A sharp with finger 3, and a C sharp with finger 5. And from there it's going to go to an F with finger 1, A with finger 2, and a D with finger 5. So let's try it. Then it's going to go to a C sharp and E with fingers 2 and 4. And from there it will go to a D and F with fingers 3 and 5. And here it's going to add in a G sharp. So we have. And it'll play that again. And finally go to an A minor chord, where it's playing A with finger 1, C with finger 2, and E with finger 4. So we have. The pedal is going to be used that whole time, except for the first 6 hits on the left hand, which are by themselves. One more time. Okay, so now the left hand, remember, was bouncing just on the A. Now we're going to use the thumb on the A and the 5th finger on the D. Okay, so it's going to start just bouncing like that. Okay, now the left hand is going to go from bouncing on the D and A to the D sharp and A. Notice the 5th finger is going to change to the 4th finger. And then it's going to go to the 3rd finger on the E. The 1st is again going to stay on the A. And finally, the 2nd finger is going to go to the F sharp. So we're going to have this, then later we're going to have this, and then this, and finally this. And that last hit is going to be just 2 A's, with the pinky on the low A and the thumb on the high A. Very often I actually only wind up hitting the A when I'm actually playing the song with the thumb. But if you want to do it accurately, then technically you're supposed to hit both of those notes. Notice I haven't been worrying too much about the timing of when to switch. We'll get to that. Just for now, these are the chords you're going to be playing. That, and then 4th finger, 3rd finger, 2nd finger. Now let's look at what's going on in the right hand. In the right hand, we're going to start with the thumb on the F and the 5th finger on the D. And then it's going to go straight down. Okay, except that last chord is going to add the 3rd finger on the F sharp. So let's do both hands together up to that part. Okay, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1. Now the last part of this is going to go. So you're just going to not hit that F sharp again, but hit the same chord, and then it's going to go up to the E and C, and then right back down again. So the right hand does this. Now together we have. So let's try to count this out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1. So this pretty much starts off the same as what we did in lesson 7, except that very first note, remember, ends hitting this low A. So it starts with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Remember, we're doing the same thing, bouncing 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1. So up to here, except for the very beginning, all of this is the same. Now this is the first new note. The right hand just stays where it is instead of changing like it did previously. And the left hand goes from an A and moves up to a B flat. And this time, instead of bouncing 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1, on the B flat, we're going to bounce 4, 3, 2, 4, 3, 2. Okay, so you're just going to keep bouncing on that B flat for a while doing the next part in the right hand. Eventually that's going to move to the B and then the C, but we'll see that in a little while. What happens in the right hand is it goes like this. So that's the thumb on the G and the pinky on the D sharp. And then it's going to come down. So that's the thumb on the F and the fourth finger on the D. So we have. And then the thumb moves to an E flat with the third finger on the C. Okay, so. Then we're going to play a B flat chord. That's going to be played with the first finger on the D, the second finger on the F, and the fourth finger on the B flat. So all together we have. So we have. And then the fourth finger is going to move to the A, the third finger then to the G sharp, and we're going to finish with an A minor chord with the root up top. That's C, E, A. So we have. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. One more time. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. And then the last chord is going to be this. So in the right hand, we're playing E and B with the first and fifth fingers, E, B. And in the left, we have E and G sharp with fingers 2 and 1. Okay, so from the beginning of this part, okay, so the part itself here is not too hard, but it does have to be played pretty fast, so you're going to need a little bit of practice. Let's start with the right hand. We're basically going to be playing a lot of A minor chords, and we're going to arpeggiate them. So just to see what that looks like, we're going to be playing A, C, E, A, C, E with the right hand on fingers 1, 3, and 5. Okay, so 1, 3, 5. And we're going to be doing this all the way up the keyboard. So you might want to practice doing it here, A, C, E, and then here, A, C, E, here. Fingers 1, 3, 5. 1, 3, 5. Okay. Now, we're going to be adding one thing every other time we do this, and that's A, C, E, A, C, E, and then we're going to come down D, C, B with fingers 4, 3, and then 2. So 1, 3, 5, 1, 3, 5, 4, 3, 2. And then repeat starting from here. So it does the exact same thing each time. Now the left hand is mostly going to be just playing an A minor chord, kind of exactly the same, except it won't be arpeggiated. It's going to use fingers 5, 3, and 1. A, C, E. But it's just going to be bouncing on that A minor chord. For the most part, the hand is going to stay right here, except you have to hit that first low A. So the very first time you start playing this, the pinky of the left hand hits a low A. So, okay, again. But right after you hit this low A with your pinky, you could bring the left hand up to here, ready to be in the position it's going to stay in for the rest of this run. So it's... And then when you hit the D, you're going to hit that A minor chord. So from this point on, the left hand is going to play that A minor every time you start this run, and every time you go to the D coming down. Okay, so it's... Okay, so again, just to point this out, the left hand is going to hit that low A, and then it's going to stay in this position, hitting this A minor every time you start the run on that A minor with the right, and then every time you hit the D on the way down. Okay, so let's play that part. Then finally, the right hand ends on this B, coming down from here, and then we're just going to play a chromatic scale coming downward, starting at the B flat. Now, chromatic scales are usually always played with the same fingering, so if you already have practiced doing a chromatic scale, this is actually very easy, but I'll assume that you don't. So here's how you play a chromatic scale. You're only going to be using fingers 1, 2, and 3. And on the black notes, you're always going to stay on finger 3. The white notes that are between two black notes, you will always use finger 1. And the only time you'll use finger 2 is when there are two white notes in a row, like here. So starting from the top of the run, we have the third finger, then finger 1, 3, 1, 3. Now we come to a situation where there are two white notes in a row, so we use finger 2, then 1. Then again, it's 3, 1, 3, and now there are two white notes, so it's 2, 1. 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so let's do this very slowly from the top, and I'll say the finger numbers. 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, 2, 1. 3, 1, 3, 2, 1. 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, 2, 1. Okay, again. 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, 2, 1. 3, 1, 3, 2, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so this is something you'll have to practice a little bit to build up speed. 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, 2, 1, 3, 1, 3, 2, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, 2, 1. And then the actual speed is going to be something like this. And what's nice is right after this, when you get to this E, it goes right into the main part of your Elise with the correct fingering and everything. So it's 3, 4, 1, 3, 2, 1, just like you learned at the very beginning of the first lesson. All right, so let me do this whole part nice and slow for you. And right there, it goes back into the first movement.